Well, I'm currently in psychology. I'm in my fourth year of the program. Before that, I was actually in the visual arts and kind of had to change my direction after I went legally blind. I was actually attending Emily Carr University at the time for 3D animation. Surprisingly enough, you need your sight to be able to do it. So I wanted to go into a program that I can actually strive in. And I'm legally blind, and I kind of have a few others, I guess. I have a learning disability as well as arthritis in my hips. I had to kind of figure it out myself. I tried studying, just reading in large text, and that was slow going, and then I was apprehensive about just listening to everything, but it helped me with recording the lectures and playing it back later on, and then also having the notes that a captionist would do, and listening to those notes as well as listening to the textbook, and eventually figured out a good way to study that fit my own needs. Well, I use Kurzweil to be able to read my textbooks. I use Zoom Text to be able to research and do my reports and all that sort of stuff. And I use my SenseView Duo, which is a sort of electronic magnifying glass, where if you put it up to paper, it enlarges the text on a screen, kind of like the size of an iPhone maybe. And so I use that whenever I need to read something on a piece of paper. I have a scanner to be able to put documents into my computer in a editable format for Kurzweil to read to me. I have my iPhone, I guess, for text-to-speech and speech-to-text capabilities, but I had to get that myself. And what else? I guess I kind of have my cane, but that's not too technical. I was a little shy too, to be honest, to go up to my professor and say, do you think we can talk in your office or anything like that? But I found that if you approach your professor when they're not busy and ask to speak with them privately, you don't need to go up to the front of the class and say, hi, I have a disability, to the whole class. You can speak to your professor one-on-one. Sometimes professors forget that I am blind because I'm kind of outgoing. And so every once in a while I will have a professor pointing to the slide, and I will have no idea what they are pointing at. So sometimes I have to put up my hand and say, like, what are you pointing at? Sorry. Or speak to them after the class and say, it was very confusing when you did that, and just remind them politely. Sometimes maybe you might have a bad experience with a professor. Sometimes they might not be too understanding at first, but if you have a relationship with your professor as well as disability services, you can get the help that you need to accomplish what you need to do in your classes. If you're just going to the class, you're really only getting one part of the university experience, because it's all about not just getting your A's and B's and getting your grades and getting your degree. Sure, that's the main part of why people might go to university, but there's lots of other stuff that you can do while trying to go for your degree or diploma or whatever you're trying to accomplish at university. Being physically active while doing school might be difficult for some people to kind of wrap their head around because they're busy with their studies or anything like that. But if you're physically active while doing school, your stress levels are lower, you're able to be active and get some good exercise. I'm blind and I don't really let anything stop me with that. I do canoeing and paddling and kayaking. I work out at the gym, and I also do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Well, Over the past year, I actually set up a club here at VIU called the Disability Awareness Club. My idea of the club was to have a sort of positive, safe place where people with disabilities and without, because I don't want to be exclusive, could come talk about their own disability, talk about accessibility, and meet other people, learn about other disabilities, and advocate, and we also do fun stuff too. If you have a disability, you shouldn't really let it stop you from doing anything that you want to accomplish, be it physical or mental. So, and it's really hard to make that first